Some words slice deeper than knives, embedding themselves in your soul where they fester for years. But when my mother leaned across the polished mahogany table during our ritual Sunday brunch in her Greenwich estate and whispered, "You're nothing but a shadow in this family," something inside me snapped, not with a bang, but with the quiet click of a long-prepared trap springing shut. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't storm out. Instead, I slid a plain brown envelope across the starched linen, right between the fresh squeezed orange juice and the artisanal croissants. Inside lay the blueprints of 2 decades of deceit, forged signatures, hidden bank trails, and the digital ghosts of emails that had stolen my childhood. The air thickened, heavy with unspoken accusations, as forks clattered to plates and faces drained of color. My name is Emily Carter, and at 34, I'd learned that revenge isn't about explosions, it's about the slow, suffocating unraveling of everything they held dear. The brunch setup was peak Sophia Langford Bradford, third marriage, second mansion, first-rate facade. The room gleamed with antique silver and fresh-cut roses from the greenhouse, sunlight pouring through bay windows overlooking manicured lawns that screamed old money. My stepfather, William, lounged at the head, thumbing through stock alerts on his tablet, his interest in family time as superficial as his tan from last week's Palm Beach getaway. My half-brother, Daniel, Mom's pride and joy, Yale alum, rising star at Morgan Stanley, dominated the conversation with tales of his latest deal. "They're fast-tracking me to the London office," he boasted, spearing a piece of smoked salmon with precision. "Need someone who can actually navigate international finance, not just whatever freelance gigs you've got going." He shot me a smirk, the kind that had become his signature since we were kids. I swirled my coffee, letting the steam rise like unspoken resentment. "She's exploring options," Sophia cut in, her smile sharp as cut glass. "Again. But honestly, Emily, at your age, some folks just aren't wired for the grind." "Sweetie." The sweetie landed like a patronizing pat on the head, directed more at William for approval than at me. He nodded absently, eyes glued to the screen. "Remember that art therapy thing she tried?" Daniel chuckled, wiping his mouth with a napkin. "Lasted what? A month? Before that, the social work internship. And don't get me started on the failed startup. It's like clockwork, start strong, crash hard." Sophia placed her mimosa down with a soft tink, her eyes locking onto mine, all feigned concern masking the steel beneath. "Your issue, Emily, has always been this delusion of grandeur, strutting around like life's supposed to hand you the spotlight." She paused, voice dropping to that intimate, cutting whisper. "You're nothing but a shadow in this family." Not anymore. The words hung there, absorbing the room's oxygen. Outside, birds chirped obliviously in the oak trees. Inside, the antique clock ticked like a heartbeat counting down. William glanced up, finally sensing the chill. I set my cup down deliberately, the porcelain clinking louder than it should. "You're spot on, Mom," I said, my tone even, almost serene. "No more shadows. Let's clarify a few truths." From my worn canvas tote, the one they'd sneered at when I arrived, I pulled the envelope, thick and unyielding. I placed it center table, displacing the fruit platter. "1. I've not been exploring options. I've been excavating secrets. 2. This holds the originals, wire transfers, doctored emails, custody manipulations. And 3. I held up my phone, displaying the delivery confirmation. My attorneys had digital backups for an hour now. Sophia's Botox-smooth forehead creased for the first time in years. William's tablet slipped from his grip. Daniel's smirk evaporated. "That old storage unit you forgot about." "Mom?" Dad's desktop was a goldmine, Thought formatting the drive wiped it clean. Data recovery begs to differ. Sophia's hand trembled toward the envelope, then jerked back. Enjoy the rest of your meal, I said, rising. And Mom, shadows only exist because of the light you block. Turns out, I can cast my own. My footsteps echoed down the marble hall, leaving behind the first cracks in their gilded world. For months prior, I'd shown up at their wrought iron gates with a suitcase and a sob story tailored to Sophia's ego. November rain pelted my thrift store raincoat, chosen for its pitiful authenticity. Emily, Sophia had opened the door herself. No butler in sight, a rare show of relatability. What fresh disaster is this? Apartment flooded, I lied. Voice cracking just right. Lost my freelance contract. Need a couple weeks to regroup. Her sigh was theatrical, eyes rolling skyward. William will throw a fit. Please. Mom. Just temporary. She ushered me in like a stray cat, bypassing the plush guest wings with their spa baths and silk duvets. Straight to the basement annex, a converted utility room with a twin bed, chipped nightstand, and a view of the HVAC unit. Renovations upstairs, she claimed, though the lie hung obvious. It's fine, I replied, hiding my satisfaction. This hole suited my purpose, invisible, unmonitored. That first month, I played the defeated daughter to perfection. Sat through dinners where my plate was cleared mid-bite. Endured William's hallway brush-offs like I was invisible staff. Tolerated Daniel's weekend visits where he'd pat his pockets post-hug, implying theft. All the while, I mapped their fortress of privilege. Sophia hoarded relics from her climbs up the social ladder, physical artifacts she distrusted to the cloud. She'd once bragged about a legacy vault in the attic, stuffed with pre-William mementos. Timing was key. William's Yacht Club Wednesdays, Sophia's Pilates Fridays, the maid's early departures. On my fourth try, I creaked open the attic hatch, flashlight cutting through dust motes and forgotten holiday bins. There, behind faded garlands from her marriage to my real dad, sat a fireproof safe, unlocked, her arrogance assuming no one would dare. Inside, Michael Hayes's ancient PC, sealed in bubble wrap like a trophy. The battery was shot, but the drive hummed to life at a discreet repair shop in Stamford. Cash payment. Alias used. As the tech pulled files, memories flooded, Dad's calloused hands fixing my bike, his bedtime tales of adventure, how he dubbed me Emmy the Conqueror, like I could take on the world. The data revealed the nightmare, drafts of a suicide note Sophia had forged in Dad's name, bank siphons she'd masked as his gambling debts, and worst, the fabricated abuse report that swayed the judge to grant her sole custody. Timestamps showed her tweaking the language for drama, version 1 too mild, version 6 a masterpiece of menace. I'd hired a digital sleuth with my nest egg, a retired NYPD cyber expert who specialized in family betrayals. This is ironclad, she murmured over coffee-stained printouts. Your mom's looking at fraud. Alienation could lose it all. Jail's too easy, I replied. I want her to feel the void she created. The expert nodded, eyes knowing. Then we build slow. Make it personal. Enduring that basement purgatory, cold leftovers, constant slights fueled me. Sophia had sculpted her empire on Dad's ruins, and now I'd dismantle it brick by brick. Childhood in the Langford-Bradford orbit wasn't golden, it was gilded poison. At 8, I watched enviously as my friend Lisa's mom braided her hair and packed lunches with notes. When I asked Sophia why she skipped my recitals, she'd snapped. Don't be clingy, Emily. It's embarrassing. Love was currency, doled out to the worthy. Daniel arrived when I was 5, flawless and favored, relegating me to footnote status. Albums chronicled it, His first steps center frame, me blurred in corners. His soccer trophies polished, my debate wins ignored. His Princeton acceptance? Gala-level fanfare. My NYU scholarship? A curt, don't get complacent. But Dad balanced it. Michael Hayes. Engineer by trade. Heart by nature, weekend museum trips. Park picnics. Endless encouragement. You're my conqueror. Emmy, he'd say, shielding me from Sophia's chill. He called her affection reserved, a polite veil over her ambition. The split hit when I was 13. Sparked not by irreconcilable differences, but by William's Pharmavillion's whispering promises. Dad pushed for shared custody, arming with proof of her neglect. Then came the note, a staged email from his account, ranting about ending it all if he lost me, laced with veiled threats. He's unstable, Sophia wept in court, clutching me like a prop. The judge bought it hook, line, sinker. Supervised visits only. Then none when Dad protested innocence. For your protection, Sophia cooed publicly, burning his contact info privately. I believed her, kids do. Last glimpse, a monitored diner booth. Dad slipping me a scribbled address. Find me when you're ready. Sophia torched that too. 20 years on. I saw the pattern. I was the relic of her starter marriage, a middle-class blemish on her ascent. Daniel was the upgrade. Born into luxury. Me? The echo she muffled. But echoes amplify in silence. And mine grew into a roar. The forged note was Sophia's magnum opus. I dissected it 312 times since recovery, 8 revisions, each escalating the hysteria. You'll pay for taking Emmy Morph 2, I'll end us both before I lose her. Browser history betrayed her, searches for faking depression emails and custody sabotage tips, dated days before filing. The courtroom theater? Oscar-worthy. 13-year-old me in a frilly dress, she picked to scream, innocent victim, her nails biting my skin as she shielded me from Dad's lawyer. He's fixated on her, she testified, voice quivering. Dad sat shattered, mouthing apologies across the aisle. Supervised hell followed, fluorescent-lit rooms, clipped conversations under watchful eyes. I didn't write it, he'd plead. Case irrelevant, the monitor barked. One outburst ended it all. Sophia twisted, denial proves danger. William swooped in post-ruling, his wealth erasing Dad's traces. Daniel adapted, dubbing him Pops. I clung to Hayes. A quiet defiance Sophia endured for optics. Time dulled the wound to scar tissue. I stopped probing, accepting the narrative. Until my 32nd birthday, alone with takeout, when a Facebook alert pinged, Michael Hayes viewed your profile. Heart pounding. I messaged Dad. Reply instant, Emmy? God. I've searched forever. Our call stretched till dawn. Blocked every avenue, he choked. Letters bounced. PIs threatened. Never gave up. The note. I pressed. Fabricated. She had my passwords, shared life. Remember? I was prepping full custody evidence. She struck first. Pieces slotted, her affair with William overlapping. The timeline damning. We met in Providence. Neutral ground. He brought a shoebox, undelivered gifts, appeal denials, my pilfered photos. Hired a tech once, traced to our home IP. But no proof without the machine. The PC she scrapped? I whispered. His eyes lit. If it's intact. That sparked my crusade, forensics courses, cyber tutorials, Sophia surveillance. I became her shadow, studying habits like a predator. For months later, suitcase in hand, I invaded her sanctuary under guise of failure, feeding her superiority complex. The attic safe yielded the PC jackpot, drafts, logs, even a memo mimicking Dad's style. My expert, Elena Vasquez, pieced it, metadata screams fraud. Sent from home while he clocked in at work. Badge scans confirm. More unearthed. Pre-divorce asset drains to secret funds. Texts grooming young Daniel for false testimony. Say dad scares you. Sweetie. She weaponized him, Elena noted. Evenings in that dank room. Overhearing their smug plans, Daniel's inheritance. William's escapes, I gathered ammo. William's study? Picked lock during their Aspen jaunt. Files revealed his own scams, tax dodges. Hidden nests for ditching Sophia. Poetic justice. The envelopes reveal hit like a slow poison. Sophia's hand hovered. Voice cracking, what's this nonsense? Page 1, your note drafts. Page 10, asset theft. Page 15, coaching Daniel to lie. Daniel snatched it. Paling. Mom. You made me say. For the family, she hissed. William interjected. What do you want? Justice, I said. Suits file tomorrow fraud. Alienation. Feds eye your accounts too. Sophia whirled on him. You hid what? Betrayal mirrored her own. I produced a restraining order. No contact. To Daniel, when ready. Meet Dad, the real one. His eyes softened. I believed her. Kids do. Exiting. I tossed. Dad's thriving. You couldn't break him fully, just us. William's murmur followed. What mess is this? Sophia's whisper. My mistake. The fallout cascaded. Headlines blared. Greenwich heiress in custody fraud scandal. Assets frozen. William bolted with divorce papers. House auctioned. Clubs shunned. Boards ousted. Daniel called weeks later. Introduced me to Dad. Their reunion, awkward hugs. Shared tears bridged voids. Sophia's plea letter via counsel. Forgiveness? Filed unread. Court expunged Dad's stains 6 months on. We exited together. What now? Live truthfully. James's text, family dinner? Dad included. Real family. No pretense. The estate scattered to winds. But truth endured, costly. But mine.